After a long stretch of travel and non-stop calling across wide-open country, the hunt finally settles into that familiar rhythm where everything feels sharp and intentional, the wind ripping across the plains, the sun cutting low angles through sage, cattle watching from a distance as if they already know what's about to happen. And every stand begins with quiet confidence as the collar is set just far enough out to pull predators into the open without giving them the wind, footsteps measured, rifles checked, chambers confirmed, volume eased up slowly until the sound reaches just far enough. And then the waiting begins, eyes scanning ditches, fence lines, tree rows, subtle movement catching attention before shape even forms, because when it works it happens fast, coyotes committing hard, sometimes charging straight into within yards of the collar, sometimes circling wide and cautious, sometimes appearing out of nowhere at full speed, forcing quick decisions and clean shots, rifles barking and coyotes folding where they stand, double down stacking up before the echoes fade, one dropped close with a suppressed rifle, another rolled farther out after ranging and holding for wind, textbook crosswind setups playing out exactly as planned with the collar, the shooter and the coyote forming a perfect triangle. And even when things get hectic, empty chambers clicked, quick reloads, targets running, experience takes over, shots threaded through shoulders, runner stopped clean at. Distance, the stand staying alive as sounds switch from distress to pup screams, pulling hesitant coyotes back in, triple downs happening because the suppressor keeps the stand quiet and the calling never stops, coyotes circling downwind and dying inside bow range, others stretching shots out past 400, 700, even farther when conditions allow, every stand blending into the next as confidence builds, ranchers helped, pressure lifted off calves and wildlife, big mature males taken out, younger coyotes responding recklessly, foxes slipping in unexpectedly, family members watching wide-eyed as predators commit right to the call, laughter mixing with adrenaline, and through wind, heat, long walks and constant adjustments, the day becomes a rolling sequence of smart setups, close encounters, long shots, fast reactions and disciplined patience, where coyotes keep coming, rifles keep working, and the hunt never really slows, just flows from one intense moment to the next until the light starts to fade and you realize you've stacked more memories than animals, knowing this is exactly why you do it and why you'll do it again tomorrow. The next stand starts with the wind still pushing hard, forcing a tighter setup, the collar placed closer than usual, rifles resting low as everyone settles in and lets the country breathe for a moment before the sound breaks the silence, and almost immediately shapes begin to materialize along the edges of cover, one slipping through a draw, another ghosting the fence line, both reading the wind, both trying to get an angle, and that's when timing becomes everything, volume eased down just enough to keep them curious, eyes locked on the lead animal as it hesitates for half a second too long, the shot breaking clean and the coyote dropping instantly, while the second wheels hard and tries to escape, only to be stopped moments later when it pauses at distance, proving again that patience and discipline turn chaos into control and turn a good stand into a double. By mid-morning the rhythm is dialed in, stands flowing one after another, each setup adjusted for terrain, sun and wind, some short and explosive, others long and methodical, where coyotes take their time working every ditch and low spot, forcing the hunters to wait them out, lowering volume, changing sounds, letting silence do as much work as noise, and when it finally happens it feels earned, a lone coyote appearing far out, closing the distance step by step until it commits fully only to be stopped clean before it ever knows what went wrong, and as the stand winds down another shows itself, pulled in by curiosity and confidence, sealing another successful sequence that reinforces why smart calling beats rushing every time. As the day wears on, confidence grows and so does the intensity, with some stands turning wild fast, coyotes coming hard and straight in, forcing quick target acquisition and calm under pressure. Shots taken inside close range followed immediately by heads snapping back up to search for more movement. Because often there is more, another coyote streaking in from a different angle, reacting late, giving just enough time for a second shot, sometimes even a third, stacking results before the dust settles, and between shots there's quick communication, steady voices, subtle movements, everyone knowing their role, because when predators commit this aggressively, hesitation is the only real mistake. Late afternoon brings tougher conditions, shifting wind, longer shadows, coyotes more cautious. But that only sharpens the approach, longer sits, wider scanning, binoculars working overtime, spotting movement far out and watching animals take long looping routes to test the setup. And this is where experience pays off, predicting where they'll pop out, waiting for that brief opening, taking measured shots that end long chases instantly, sometimes turning a single hard-earned kill into a double. When another coyote reveals itself after the shot, drawn in by curiosity rather than fear, proving that staying on stand and staying focused often rewards patience in unexpected ways. As the light begins to fade, every stand feels heavier, more deliberate, the air cooling, sounds carrying farther, and coyotes either commit fully or vanish just as fast, but the effort never drops, because these last setups often produce the most memorable moments, coyotes appearing close without warning, others hanging up far out and daring the shot. And when everything comes together, clean setup, perfect wind read, controlled shot, it feels like the culmination of the entire day's work, ending with quiet satisfaction, rifles cleared, collars packed up, and that familiar feeling that the hunt delivered exactly what it promised. Intensity, challenge, and moments you'll replay long after the trucks start rolling again.
If you'll enjoy this video, please like and subscribe my channel for more information.